Hello, friends. I'm Rick Beatty. I'm the senior minister here at Unity of Royal Oak in Royal Oak, Michigan. And it is an honor always to bring you a brief meditation, a simple mindful meditation. And it happens to be Cinco de Mayo, the 5th of May today. And so I want to begin this time that we have together by sharing with you today's Daily Word, and I do so with permission of Unity, the publishers of Daily Word. The key word is joy. And the affirmation, the light and love of God is my joy. Say that with me. The light and love of God is my joy. All people are meant to feel joy and delight in life. Smiles, laughter, and deep happiness all spring from joy that is ours by divine right. Reasons for happiness may come and go, but the joy in which those experiences are rooted is an enduring spiritual truth. Joy is essential to my divine identity as a child of God. I can keep joy alive every time I breathe and smile. I bring to mind the people and experiences that enliven and inspire me. I know that there is an underlying opportunity for me to focus on all that brings me joy, all that brings joy to me and to others. True joy comes from my openness to the activity of God in my life. God's love, light, energy, and zeal in me are among my greatest gifts. I remember this and I choose joy. And the Bible verse for today is from John chapter 15, verse 11. I have said these things to you so that my joy may be in you and that your joy may be complete. There's a lot of things that really speak to my heart today. The light and love of God is my joy. Sometimes things happen in life that we don't want to happen, don't they? I mean, we all have had things. This pandemic, for instance. And if I make my joy dependent on the outer world, sometimes I'll have joy and sometimes not. But here's why joy is a spiritual practice. Here's where it flows from. It flows out of your very essence, the very life of God in you, the Christ, the I am of you, is the source of joy. The I am in me is the source of joy. It's not dependent on what's going on in my life, in my world, at all. Sometimes amazingly so, not dependent on the world around me. I can keep my joy alive every time I breathe and smile. It says to me it's a natural thing. Joy is a natural thing. Now, I've been listening to Brene Brown's book, Daring Greatly, and she talks about joy being a thing that people struggle with. I don't struggle with joy so much, since I don't have to be worthy, or I am worthy because of who I am. I don't have to earn it. I don't have to earn the right to joy. I don't have to be the best little boy in the world to have joy. Joy is a birthright. Joy is a very byproduct of the relationship that I have in God. As a God being, as a divine presence, as a divine being, joy flows up in me and through me. True joy comes from my openness with the activity of God in my life. True joy comes from the activity, from my openness to the activity of God in my life. Are you open to the activity of God in your life? It's a powerful question to sit and hold. Might be one to take into this meditation time. Sometimes I like to take a question into meditation. Not always. Usually not, but sometimes. And so I'll just hold that question, I'll hold that idea in my mind as I meditate. So meditation in its simplest form is to turn away from the outer to the inner. Many forms of meditation, I've talked about it almost every week. Yeah, I can meditate in a noisy room with my eyes wide open. The only place I don't meditate is driving. I'll meditate on airplanes, meditate in lines, meditate waiting anywhere. Meditation means to drop into that zone, to the place where I feel deeply connected to God. And you can substitute whatever name works for you. Source, life, all that is, the Christ, the I am, Buddha, Kuan Yin, Allah, it doesn't matter what you call it. But can you turn your attention from the stuff that's going on around you to that presence that is within you? That's where meditation happens. Meditation is to clear the mind. Now, when I was young, I used to understand that to not think. Friends, it is not possible for human beings to not think. It just is not possible. We can't stop thinking. Meditation, rather, is focused thinking, choosing what you think about, choosing to focus on something internal, to focus on something that's real. One of the struggles that I had when I first found New Thought, when I found Unity almost 46 years ago, was this idea that it's the inner world. It's the inner world that's the reality. It's the inner life that's real. This life that we're living is transitory. This life that looks like what we're doing on the outer is just transitory. It changes all the time. A Course in Miracles talks about the world of illusion. Well, it's not illusion like a card trick. It's illusion like it's moving and changing all the time. It's hard to know where it is. So I'm going to invite us in a minute to focus our attention inward. But before we do this, let's relax the body a little bit. If you're like me, maybe you've picked up some tension today. I've got a lot going on today. And I've had some personal stuff going on with my dog. And I need to turn within. I need to turn away from all of the things that are vying for my attention and that are trying to distract me, and focus myself on the truth. But before I do that, let's just notice the body, wherever you're sitting or lying down or even standing. Notice your body and allow yourself to begin to relax. Invite yourself to do so. Start at the bottoms of your feet and scan your body, moving upwards. From the bottoms of your feet upward, top of your feet, toes, ankles, the calves, shin muscles, little bitty muscles that are in there in your shins, there's not much. Knees, hips and thighs and buttocks, the whole gluteus maximus area. The abdominal and small of the back, those are bands of muscles that hold us together to keep our core together. As I touch on any one of these places, as I think about it, as I say its name or identify it, just if there's tension there, I invite it to drain away. Notice that it does. Notice that it does. Allowing yourself to become more and more comfortable right where you are, more and more centered and focused. Continuing the scan of your body up now to the abdomen, the solar plexus, up to your heart. Give some thanks for your heart. Bless it. Put your hand over your heart and just send some love energy there. Just keeps going, keeps on ticking, that heart of yours and mine. And without it, no life is happening. Now continue your scan of your body up the small of your back, to the middle of your back, between your shoulder blades, up on the top of your shoulders, letting everything relax. Allowing all of it to become still and loose and pliable. Wiggle it, move it. See the tension drain away from you. Even though we see signs of recovery from this pandemic in the United States, we are far from done with it, and that weighs on all of us. That's one of the reasons why I've doubled and redoubled my meditation efforts during the pandemic. It lets me turn away from the outer and focus my attention on something that's eternal and real. I am a child of God. You are a child of God. This is the truth. This is an eternal truth. Nothing can change it. You may die somewhere. You will die someday. But who you are as a child of God will never die. The body will die, but who you are will not die. This is the truth of us. So I'm going to start in a moment. First, we're going to take a couple of 3 deep breaths. Then I'm going to start some music. The music I'm using now is 6 Degrees of Meditation. It's a piece that Kim Lange, our creative director, created just for meditations, for us. So we can share it without a copyright violation notice from YouTube and Facebook. So We're going to take 3 deep breaths. That means to fill your lungs from the bottom to the top, because very often we breathe very shallowly. So this is an opportunity to breathe in deeply. Breathe in. Hold it. Sigh it out. Again, breathe in deep. Hold it. Sigh it out. And one more deep breath in. Hold it. Sigh it out. And now let your breathing return to its normal pattern, whatever that is for you. Let it just be your normal rhythm. And notice that there's nothing you need to do to make yourself breathe. In fact, you can't stop yourself from breathing, only for a very short time. And then automatically you'll breathe again. So let us take some breaths, and then we're going to follow the next breath inward to that place in us where the I Am is enthroned, the Christ, the life of God in you, enthroned as you. I'm going to get comfortable in my chair, invite you to get comfortable where you are. Let's join together for a few moments in the stillness of this time of meditation. And whether you have your eyes open or closed, you can softly focus them. The thing is to allow yourself to be open to the presence and the power of God at work in your life, moving in through and as you and as me and every person. Should you hear any noise, anything distract you, if your mind wanders, and it will, simply bring your attention back to your breath and then follow the next breath inward to the point where you encounter the presence of God in yourself. And at this time, while we stay in meditation, I invite you to call to mind any situation or circumstance, any person or place that you would like to send some healing energy to. I think of healing energy as a great beam of love light. You just can shine it out wherever you want to, wherever your mind directs it. And so let's first call to mind those people and places and circumstances that you are wanting to send some healing, some love energy to. And see that flow out of you, move out of you. And the interesting thing about love energy is the more you give, the more you have. And I'm thinking today about the people of India and the numbers that they're reporting, but from what the news says, even greater numbers of people being affected in a very different way than you and I. Not that we haven't been affected as well. So we send some love energy there to go along with the supplies that the United States and other nations have sent. And we send peace and a wave of blessing. We cannot imagine what those people are going through right now, but we know what the solution is, God. We don't know what their problems are, but we know the solution is God. And let us also just bless our nation, all of it, everybody in it, no matter what political persuasion or orientation or how big or tall or small you are, what color you are, what gender identity you hold. Doesn't matter. You're a human being, a representation of the life of God. I want to invite you to pray with me. God, we're so grateful for this time to be together in meditation, this time to connect with you and with each other, this time to take a pause from the ordinary and focus our attention on the extraordinary, on the eternal and supernal, to be aligned with your presence. And God, by our presence, our collective consciousness, we bless the world with peace and healing and wholeness and harmony. We imagine a world that works for everybody. We speak our word, trusting and knowing that our word does not come back to us empty. Thank you, God, and so it is. Amen. Friends, visit our website at unityofroyaloak.org. There you'll find what we have going on this week and next week and the following weeks. You'll also find a way to make a contribution if you choose to. There's a donate button you can process with Tidely, which lets you use credit cards or your checking account or a savings account, or you can use PayPal. They're both available there. People also bring their contributions and make them in person. They put them in the slot in our door, next to the door, not in the book nook, please, but put it in the slot in the door. Or you can mail something to Unity of Royal Oak, 2500 Crooks Road, Royal Oak, Michigan, MI 48073. I want you to know that you're important to me. If I can encourage you, help you along your journey, if you have questions, if you'd like prayer, send me an email to Rick, R-I-C, at unityofroyaloak.org. And friends, let us remember that the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. All is well. This is the truth. God bless you. God love you and keep you. Namaste.